In a small village, nestled on the edge of a snow-covered forest, where winter seems endless, there is an old wooden house, its roof covered with ice. Inside, the dim light from the fireplace illuminates the tired face of Lan, a 30-year-old woman with sunken eyes from sleepless nights. Her husband, Hung, died 3 years ago in a blizzard while hunting, leaving her and her only son, Minh, who was only 1 year old at the time. Since then, Lan has been the sole breadwinner of the family, knitting, chopping wood, and doing everything to raise Minh. Minh is the only light in Lan's dark life. The 4-year-old boy has eyes as clear as an autumn lake, a smile as bright as a rare ray of sunshine on cold winter days. Every morning, Minh often sits by the window, looking out at the white forest and asking his mother, "Mom, is Dad out there? Will Dad come back to me?" Every time she heard that question, Lan's heart felt like it was being squeezed. She could only hold her son close and whisper, "Daddy is always with you, but he is far away, in the stars." But life was not easy for Lan. This winter was harsher than ever, food was scarce, and the villagers gradually became cold, only caring for their own families. Lan had to work twice as hard to get some flour and firewood. She often let Minh play alone in the yard, where he loved to build snowmen or run after little sparrows. "Don't go far from me," Lan always warned, but Minh's curious eyes often turned to the forest, where the fairy tales his mother told him seemed to come to life. One morning, while Lan was knitting a sweater by the fireplace, Minh stood by the window and saw a small white rabbit hopping around in the yard. The rabbit had long ears, fur as white as snow, and red eyes that sparkled like 2 rubies. Minh chuckled, opened the door, and ran out without telling his mother. Little did he know that the forest was not only a place of fairy tales, but also the home of the white tiger, a legendary creature that the villagers never dared to mention its name. Minh ran after the rabbit, his tiny feet stepping on the thick snow, leaving tiny footprints that were quickly erased by the cold wind. Little did he realize that he had crossed the village border deep into the forest. The tall, snow-covered trees looked like silent giants, watching him with cold eyes. The rabbit hopped ahead, leading Minh further and further, until the boy could no longer hear the wind blowing through the village, no longer saw the smoke rising from the roofs. Suddenly the rabbit stopped, looked at Minh with red eyes, then disappeared into the white mist. Minh stood still, looking around. The forest suddenly became eerily quiet, except for the boy's breathing and the crackling of the falling snow. "Mom," Minh called, his voice trembling, but no one answered. The boy began to cry, tears rolling down his cheeks, red from the cold. He sat down in the snow, hugging his knees, calling out to his mother in vain, "Mom, I'm scared. Mom, I want to go home." Minh's cries echoed in the forest, waking up a creature sleeping soundly under the snow. From afar, a giant white figure slowly approached. It was the white tiger, a white tiger with fur that sparkled like moonlight, blue eyes as cold as ice, and sharp teeth that flashed in the darkness. The villagers believed that the white tiger was not just a beast, but the embodiment of winter, of life and death. It only appeared when someone dared to invade its territory, and the last time it appeared, it was Minh's father, Hung, who sacrificed himself to protect the village. The white tiger roared. The roar shook the entire forest. Minh raised his head, saw the tiger charging towards him. The boy screamed, retreated, but his small legs could not escape. He fell into the snow, covered his face, and sobbed, "Mom, save me. Dad, I'm scared." The white tiger stopped, only a few steps away from Minh, its fierce eyes staring straight at the boy. But at that moment, something strange happened. Minh's cry, clear and full of pain, seemed to awaken a distant memory in the tiger's mind. Meanwhile, in the small house, Lan suddenly startled. The knitting needle in her hand fell to the ground. A cold feeling ran down her spine, as if someone was calling her name in the wind. "Minh!" Lan screamed, rushing into the yard. She couldn't see her son, only tiny footprints leading into the forest. Her heart stopped beating. Without thinking, Lan rushed into the forest, without a coat, without warm shoes, only the fierce love of a mother to guide her. Lan ran and called Minh's name, her voice lost in the snowy wind. Painful memories rushed back. the day Hung left, the day she held his cold body and vowed to protect Minh with her life. I can't lose anyone else, Lan thought, tears rolling down her cheeks. She ran and ran until she heard Minh's cries and the roar of the white tiger. Lan rushed forward, saw Minh sitting in the snow. In front of her was the fierce white tiger. Without hesitation, she rushed to hug her child, shielding Minh with her own body. "Don't touch my child," Lan shouted, her voice trembling but determined. She had no weapons, no strength to fight the tiger, but she had a mother's love, a love stronger than any fear. The white tiger roared, but its eyes suddenly changed. It looked into Lan's eyes and seemed to recognize something. Perhaps it was the memory of Hung, who sacrificed himself to protect the village. Perhaps it was Lan's eyes, the eyes of a mother willing to die for her child. The white tiger slowly backed away, then turned and walked away, blending into the white snow. Lan hugged Minh tightly, both mother and son sobbing. "Mom's here. I'm fine," Lan whispered, kissing Minh's forehead. The boy smiled, though his face was still wet with tears. "I see Dad, Mom. Dad told me to be brave," Minh said, his voice innocent. Lan smiled, tears rolling down her face. She knew that, even though Hung was no longer here, he would always protect them in his own way. Lan and her mother returned to the village, and the story of the white tiger spread everywhere. People began to believe that the white tiger was not only a symbol of death, but also a symbol of love and sacrifice. From then on, every winter, they told their children the story of a mother who faced the white tiger to save her child, and of a little boy who awakened the miracle with his cries.